I don't know what happened yesterday. We got up about half a mile there and they just took off.
A scary situation for a dog owner. The woman says when her two dogs came back after taking off in Draper's Deer Ridge off-leash area yesterday morning, they were covered in porcupine quills and in obvious pain.
Oh, how Fox 13 News anchor Brian Schnee spoke to that dog owner today, also a veterinarian, about what to do if this ever happens to your pet and how to avoid it in the first place. And we do want to warn you, some of the imagery we're about to show you may be unsettling for some viewers.
King and Champagne are in a much better mood on Monday.
It was a scary experience, but we got through it. She's finally walking.
Deepthi and her two dogs were in an off-leash area hiking with a group of friends on Sunday morning when the two dogs took off.
Finally, after 10 minutes and me yelling their name, this guy shows up, with his mouth full of quills.
The pictures, especially for dog owners, are tough to look at. King and Champagne came back to their owner visibly in pain with dozens of porcupine quills lodged in their bodies. Champagne, in too much pain to move, had to be carried back to the car before being taken to the emergency vet, where both dogs were sedated and the quills were removed. Other dog owners in the area were not aware of the porcupine incident until we mentioned it.
He's, my child, essentially, and I care more about him than I do most things in life.
Nathan has spent a lot of time training with his dog.
I'm always consistently talking to him, clicking, saying right here, good boy, like affirmations. It's a conversation the whole time, but that means I'm aware of where he's at and he's aware of where I'm at. Come here, my guy.
He definitely doesn't want his good boy to get into a scuffle with a porcupine.
The quills, they stick and they're hard to pull out, and it probably is not going to be a friendly vet bill.
Veterinarians in the Salt Lake Valley end up seeing between 5 to 10 dogs per summer that have gotten into a situation like King and Champagne did.
So lots of swelling, difficulty eating, maybe increased salivation, but they just look really painful.
To avoid the long-term impacts for your dog, he advises getting them into a vet clinic as quickly as possible.
So what we need to do is remove the quill in its entirety. So we have to go in and remove the whole porcupine quill and then the barb, which keeps it in place.
In terms of prevention, the simple solution is keeping your dog on a leash and
make sure your dog has amazing recall, which I can say 95 to 97% of dogs do not.
That's where she had more quills there.
Something that Deepthi says she'll be working on.
Recall is most important. I think yesterday that failed to happen, and I'm going to be training with them more.
Of course, no dog owner likely wants to see their furry friend in this situation, but if it does happen to your dog, after speaking with veterinarians, they want to reiterate, do not pull these quills out while your dog is awake and alert, because you could likely cause more harm than good. In Draper, Brian Schnee, Fox 13 News, Utah.
According to Utah law, porcupines are protected animals. Now, if you have a problem with them on your property or in your neighborhood, Utah's Division of Wildlife Resources has a list of professional licensed animal control companies that specialize in removing protected species.